You wouldn't even bend down to pick it up today. But in 1975, $5 could shape your entire week. Not exaggerating, one note could fuel your car, feed your family, entertain your weekend, and still leave coins in your pocket. Back then, the average weekly wage sat around $45. So that single blue note? It wasn't casual money, it carried weight. When your grandparents handed it to you at Christmas, it felt like you'd just been given control of the world. And what's fascinating isn't just inflation, it's what that money unlocked. Freedom, experiences, moments that felt bigger than the price tag. Because once you start breaking it down, you realize $5 didn't just buy things, it built entire days. And the first place you really see that is at the petrol pump. If you enjoy uncovering how everyday life used to feel, you might want to stick around with Hidden Plates UK. There's a lot more like this coming, and please subscribe this YouTube channel. Let's go. Picture this. You pull into a petrol station. You don't get out. Someone walks over, fills your tank, checks your oil, cleans your windscreen, and you just sit there. For $5, you could get around 6.5 gallons of petrol. In a car like a Ford Cortina, that meant nearly 200 miles of travel. A full day out, coast and back, covered. Now, that same $5 barely gets a splash. But it didn't stop there. Walk into Woolworths, and suddenly, that same note turns into music. Proper music. 2 full albums, big releases of the time, and you'd still have change. You'd flip through sleeves, admire the artwork, and walk home holding something that felt personal. Today, one vinyl alone costs more than 7 times that. And if you were hungry, you didn't grab something on the go, you went out. Places like Wimpy weren't just fast food, they were an occasion. You sat down, you were served. Plates, cutlery, the lot. And $5 could comfortably cover 2 full meals, desserts, drinks, and still get you home. It wasn't just about eating, it was about the experience. And that same feeling carried straight into the weekend. Saturday didn't need planning apps or bookings. If football was on, you were there. For less than £1 each, you could stand on the terraces, program in hand, pie and a hot drink warming your hands. Add bus fare, and $5 still covered 2 people for the entire day. Today, that doesn't even get you through the gate. And for kids, $5 could literally define your childhood. A Scale-Extric set under the Christmas tree. That was the dream. Hours on the living room floor, cars flying off corners, arguments over controllers. If you didn't own one, you knew someone who did. Toys weren't disposable, they were memorable. Action Man with detailed gear, Cindy dolls with carefully chosen outfits. Each purchase felt considered, almost important. Even trends came at a cost that made sense. A skateboard, solid wood, heavy as anything, was within reach. You'd fall, scrape your elbows, and get straight back on. And when the day ended, you didn't need much to make the night feel complete. A Saturday night at home could be sorted for less than $5. A large tin of beer, a bottle of wine, cigarettes, crisps, the lot. The TV on, family gathered, simple but complete. No one felt like they were missing out. But if you did go out, a few pints, fish and chips, even a taxi home, you'd still have change left. That's not the shocking part, though. Here's where it really hits. A trip to the cinema, one of the biggest films of the decade, could be done as a family, including snacks and travel, all for under $5. Even major events weren't out of reach. The FA Cup final at Wembley? You could get in, possibly even 2 or 3 people for that same note. Let that sink in. What now costs hundreds, once sat comfortably inside a single hand, and somehow, even with all that spending, $5 still stretched into everyday life. This is where it becomes almost unbelievable. That same $5 didn't just cover fun, it handled responsibility. School meals, week's worth, clothes for kids, mostly sorted. train tickets for a day out, covered with spending money left. Even technology, like a portable radio or a basic calculator, fell within reach of that single note. Things that once cost a fortune suddenly became personal items. You could pay for months of television access, send dozens upon dozens of letters, buy stacks of music, even pick up iconic items like Dr. Martens boots that lasted years. And somehow, it still extended to things like pet care, Christmas gifts, and household traditions. It wasn't just spending power, it was life coverage. One note, handling everything from survival to joy. And maybe that's the part that sticks. Not just how cheap things were, but how complete everything felt. If this brought back a memory, tell me what hit you most and share it with someone who'd remember that blue $5. Subscribe to Hidden Plates UK for more stories like this, because some memories are too good to fade.